The kingdom was a portrait of silence, held captive by a winter that would not end. Princess Elara stepped into the royal garden, her boots crunching heavily on the frozen earth. At the very center, the legendary silver rose stood encased in jagged, suffocating ice. An old gardener leaned on his shovel, his breath forming thick white clouds in the frigid air. The wind spirit froze its heart, he rasped, his voice trembling as he pointed toward the desolate, white landscape. Elara gripped her cloak, feeling the chill seep into her bones. She knew the kingdom's survival depended on this single, fragile bloom. Elara packed a small satchel and marched into the biting wind, leaving the safety of the palace walls behind. In the depths of the snowy woods, a sharp shriek pierced the air. A small rabbit was pinned deep beneath a heavy, frozen drift. Without hesitation, Elara knelt in the snow, clawing at the frozen crust with her bare, reddening fingers. She ignored the sting of the ice until she finally pulled the rabbit free, cradling the shivering creature against her chest. As it scampered away, a golden pulse flickered in her palm. A glowing crystal heart had appeared, her first reward for a selfless act. With the heart tucked away, she pushed toward the jagged peaks of Crystal Mountain. The weather turned fierce. A blinding blizzard roared, slamming into her frame like a physical wall. She leaned into the gale, each step more grueling than the last, her vision obscured by swirling white. She refused to turn back, driven by a hope she could barely feel. Suddenly, above the highest peak, a single star pierced the gloom. It descended like a falling tear, dropping a shimmering crystal star into her outstretched hand. The second piece of the puzzle was hers, but the greatest challenge still lay ahead. Finally, she reached the desolate frozen lake, where the wind howled across the flat expanse. A tiny bird sat trapped in a shelf of solid, translucent ice, its wings frozen mid-flutter. Elara picked up a sharp stone, her movements slow and heavy. She struck the ice, over and over. The sound of stone on ice echoed like a heartbeat across the empty lake. Her hands turned numb, then raw and bleeding, but she did not stop. Hours ticked by in a blur of pain and cold. Just as her strength began to fail, a final, sharp crack echoed across the water. The ice shattered, and the bird took flight into the gray sky. In its wake, a crystal flower materialized in the air, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. The journey was complete. Elara returned to the palace and knelt before the dying silver rose. With trembling hands, she placed the heart, the star, and the flower on the frozen ground. A blinding gold light erupted, shattering the ice into 1,000 diamonds. The rose unfurled, blooming with vibrant, impossible color. As the light spread, the snow retreated, replaced by lush green grass and the sudden melody of singing birds. The king and queen rushed to her side, their faces filled with wonder. But Elara remained still, watching in silence as the first warm sun of spring finally touched the garden floor, her long winter finally over.